Good morning, folks. NOAA released a 2012 drought report of unflinching objectivity. The drought was not a global warming event. They say it was a natural variation, but in my opinion, it's very hard to separate this from the other climate extremes that are receiving very underwhelming coverage in the mainstream. Then we come to this video and info from NASA on alleged dark matter readings in the ISS. Positron readings indicate that the detection and understanding may be improving, which is good considering people like me are skeptical of them missing 95% of the universe, and all of a sudden they explain that these dark energies and matter are what they've missed. I am at least thankful that they explore alternative explanations for these readings, like pulsars. For those who are familiar with pulsars, I'd love to get a discussion going today about the potential effect of being directly aligned with a pole, even instantaneously, of a pulsar, other star, or even a planet. Cyclone Imelda, still trying to swing south away from everyone, but her big feet can't avoid trampling altogether. Update on the early April African hailstorm in Zimbabwe. It destroyed crops, dozens of homes, and the people are at high starvation risk. Are you listening, aid organizations? They need food. Quickly. Something that may be a bit closer to home for many of you is strange tremors picked up by seismologists at the Newberry volcano in Oregon. If that sounds familiar, it might be because I was furious a while back with their geothermal intrusions and fracking efforts there. Bottom, big low heads to New Zealand, where I'd love some local drought updates from you guys. In Europe, the next low is creeping across the continent as remnants of the last one produced severe weather in Greece. Got some avalanche and coastal threat warnings in España, with similar warnings and flooding as well in parts of Sweden. Florida and Louisiana took a pounding from the Gulf last night. NOAA indicates tonight's U.S. watch zone is here, and I agree wholeheartedly, as that's the place of convergence. The large lows spin counterclockwise in the northern hemisphere, allowing warm, moist air from the south to crash into colder, drier northern air, and the equalization of the different potentials there is what causes the severe storms. Folks, this is from about a month ago to demonstrate impact signature differentials. This is a coronal hole stream impact. You see the density spikes as the speed does, or sometimes it's just before, due to the speedy stream bunching up all the slower particles out in front of it. Well, here is our recent CME impact. You see density falls at the initial impact as the speed rises. That's due to only a few of the speediest particles arriving first. Then, the density builds up as the larger massive ejecta arrives at Earth while the speed falls. This is the best way to tell the difference between the two types of impacts, assuming they are close enough together that timing doesn't tell you off the top. The best part of CME impacts is the drop-off in cosmic rays. The cloud of plasma and charged particles acts as a tertiary magnetic field that aids the heliosphere and magnetosphere, and indeed the solar wind is an enormous mitigator of galactic radiation, which is why the high readings lately drop the detection on cosmic ray monitors. Back to solar wind telemetry, the speed and density and even temperature are dropping now, indicating a return to calmer conditions. The magnetometers showed yesterday's impact, but without terrible disturbance. No plasma penetration is detectable here. Never got above KP3, I was wrong about that, and very surprised as well. Not as surprising, after a brief uptick, the flaring has gone back to sleep. I will still insist on monitoring the southern development, as they have not faded at all since facing Earth. The planets began lining up geocentrically in a few days when this opening in the solar atmosphere is directly facing Earth. We can expect just a few days of quiet before things ramp up again. Let's enjoy it while we watch some shots of our star to close. Eyes open. No fear, it's 6:15 a.m. Eastern Time, and that's the news. Be safe, everyone.